Okay, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we are in Topeka, Kansas, and we are at the Smithfield Foods. We're going to be hauling some wheat, 39,690 pounds of wheat. We're going to head up to North Platte, and this is actually, our destination is going to be part of the ATS Expansion. We're on the last version. I think it's 10.5. It's the latest version. And we also have Pups' cargo mod in there. It was just updated pretty recently, probably within the last day. Wow, that's loud. To version 1.5. So if you have the cargo mod for the ATS expansion, make sure that you get the update. First part is going to be this drive, and the second part, as you can see from the camera on the bottom right, this is the first time we are showcasing the button box that I created. Last time I showed you all the gauges, and we have all the button boxes, and outside of these two holes right here, and I'm just waiting for some extra parts, those will be, it's 95% of the way done, wired, tested, mapped, and everything. So we're going to be using it for the first time in the drive today. So again, we'll do the drive, and then we'll take a detailed look at the end of the drive if you care to stick around, and I'll tell you, what kind of parts I've got, how I've got it configured and everything. And if you don't want to see that, you could just sign off. But as always, timestamps down below in the description, and I'll have links to everything that we're doing. Speaking of which, we have the K100 by Mr. Overfloater, but we have it with a spin. Recently, by Rafael Magoyan, he has added a DayCab for this K100, and it's got tons of different configurations. I chose a longer base and made sure that it was dropped a little bit. I've got Smarties wheels all throughout on the truck and the trailer. The trailer is just the SCS Grain Hopper, and both the truck and the skin have that Oakridge Trucking skin, and that's from Goggles 56. You can find that on Steam. They're free. Again, I'll have links down to all that, and I'll explain a few more things that's going on in the news and developments that are coming up in my next video. But for now, we need to head over to North Platte and get this wheat delivered. All right, good old K100. Let's go ahead and get on the lights. Flick everything on. Got a full tank of gas. I like it. Let's go ahead and roll down the windows. Headlights on, and we'll get the parking brake off. And we are good to go. Track IR is on. Using Zmod's FOV. Really taking the time to get used to it. It does take a little bit of adjustment, but it's going all right. I think I'm going to stick with it. All right, let's head out. Ooh, lower gear. Take a look at this skin in the sun here. It's partly in the shade. Maybe I can steer out to here so we can see it all in the shade. Good looking skin on both the truck and the trailer. And loving the Smarties wheels. Looking real good. Alright, which way are we going here? It's a little bit loud, but I'm gonna keep the windows down for a little bit so you can hear this. This is a 500 horsepower Cat 3406C by Chilling Toaster. I'm liking the 3406C. Big fan. We also have a 13-speed in here. It's an Eaton Fuller 613 by Fury 6. So we got 3 gears in the low. We got 5 in the main, or the intermediate, and 5 in the high. and you run them right after each other. So low 1, 2, 3, intermediate 1 through 5, high 1 through 5. I'll do that so you can see what gear I'm in. I know I don't really have the video on the sticks because I'm really trying to show off the whole dash now that we have the button box in. And it looks like we're getting on the highway right up here. Alright, a little bit loud on the highway. Let's get the windows up. Go into the high range to get the top 5. They want us at 40 miles an hour. Get the Jake on a little bit here. Sometimes you just don't know on those curves. I haven't been on this drive for quite a while, so I'd rather be going a little bit slow than to be surprised. Alright, and we are on our way. 6 hours, 33 minutes left. We won't be showing, we'll be skipping around here and there. Some things that I did want to talk to you about, though. Some of the latest updates and news. I did quite a bit today in trying to get caught up with everything. The first thing that I did that I already pointed out at the beginning of the video is the update to the ATS Expansion Cargo mod from Pups. Make sure you pick that up. It's been out for a day or two, but EMT Mods just released an update to their International 9600. Did a review on that. Was it last video or the video before? Good, we got the bypass. So he's already got an update, fixing small things, tweaks, and things like adding a driver. So like from the outside, you can see that there's a driver. Added some of those flappers to the end of the exhaust as an option, which is really cool, and some other things. So I haven't had a chance to drive it with the new update yet. But if you have the EMT 9600, the International, from EMT Mods, go ahead and pick it up. Pick up the update. What else did I have to update today? I updated a few things. I can't remember off the top of my head. The biggest thing that I did was I did a whole lot of research for a video that I'm going to be doing on Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen on Sunday. It involves multiple parts. It's going to be focused a lot around a map mod that we have not featured on this channel. And just getting it all installed, getting it set up, and then I'm waiting on the delivery of a truck that's going to be that I purchased just for this mod. So look for that on Sunday as I put everything together. I bought the truck today, but apparently it takes a little while for you to actually get it delivered. I guess they have to hand process it and send you the files individually, so I'll be waiting for a little bit on that. Yeah, and the other thing was just making sure that I got this DayCab add-on from Raphael so that I could feature it. And right after it got featured, Goggles put up the Oakridge skin. And take a look at that again as we're moving in full sun now. I'm liking it. Now, I was hoping there would be an off chance that I was going to get a dynamic loading. That's why I just went with the default SCS Grain Hopper. But I know that we're also rolling into ATS Expansion Yard, K&D Grain. And maybe for the off chance that it's a dynamic offloading, if they're doing that, I know there's rumors about it. Maybe that's coming out on the next ATS expansion. But I always like to go through Nebraska and Kansas now with a grain hopper, either Ruta's or an SCS or a Load King, just in the event that I get one of those dynamic loading or offloading. If you guys know some other locations where we can get dynamic loading and dynamic unloading, where we just basically unload from the bottom, put it down in the comments. I'd like to know. I'm sure like a lot of other people would like to know too. So we're moving along pretty good. It's a 3.7 differential, so it's kind of like I want to get some highway speed, but just in case we hit some hills, and we're probably not going to hit a whole lot of hills, to be honest, in Nebraska and Kansas, but just in case, that's why I'm not running a 355. And it's a 500 horsepower, so we're moving along quite a bit. I'm not even in the top 13th gear, and it's mainly just because of traffic here. Maybe we'll hit it if it clears up a little bit, but as of now, not the case really. Oh, as we get this downhill, maybe we can do that. There's 13th. What do you guys think of this 3406C by Chilling Toaster? I know 3406B from Z-Mods has been getting a lot of attention, and I love that engine, but I want to mix it up a little bit. And I want to show you guys some engines maybe you haven't seen, maybe you guys haven't tried, and this 3406C is a free engine on the Steam Workshop. Oh, we're even speeding. There we go. Kind of crazy. I feel like popping out into the fast lane here. It seems like everyone, I don't know if that's like what's going on, because it's like they're programmed to jump in front of you. That's what I've seen a lot, especially since 1.5, is everyone that passes you on the left jumps right in front of you, and they just pack it up. And it's not necessarily like someone fast is coming on the left. You see there's just that yellow truck in the background in that mirror, but they like to just dive in front of you. I don't know. Is that brake checking you, keeping you on your toes? Or is it just something weird with the programming where they decide if they pass you, they got to jump in front of you? I don't know about that. Alright, so now we got our button box. I'm going to go ahead and hit the cruise. That's the yellow button right here. I don't know how well you can see it. I'll cover it a little bit more when we go into detail, but I got the Jake up here basically on a simple toggle, and I've got my rotary encoder to adjust the stages of the Jake. Got my cruise, and I got another rotary encoder to control my increase and decrease on the cruise. Four ways, emergency flashers are the red, green is the horn, and so I kind of think about it like that. Like if I've got the cruise on, I gotta stop, I can hit the four ways to alert people, take the cruise off, and then go to the Jake. So 3, 2, 1 is kind of how I'm thinking about it. And I'll tell you about the rest of the buttons and everything. Nope. What's this guy doing? I'm going to zoom out on the map a little bit so we can see a little bit further ahead, especially when we're cruising in this left lane. Usually when I cruise in the left lane, that's when I got to get over real fast, so I'll keep an eye on that. We've got a little hanging thing right up there that's part of the package from Pups. Put out a whole bunch of these hanging items, and I actually have his Poppy Pups in a couple other trucks, and Goggles 56. I think there's like 20 or 25 different ones. Did a great job with those. Give us something new to hang from the top there. But this is a pretty straightforward run here. not getting too many highway changes or anything like that. But I haven't driven through Kansas or Nebraska in quite a while. I've been spending a lot of time up in Pro Mods, in the Reforma map down in Mexico, and like I said, we're going to be hitting another map mod on Sunday. So I thought, let's go ahead and discover a little bit more of Kansas and Nebraska. I didn't really do an exhaustive tour through there when they first came out. We did a few cities, but that's about it. Haze. So cool. I definitely like the longer and lowered look, but it's so cool to have that DayCab on that K100 now. Looks so cool. Whoa. Let's get back on the road, huh? Alright, I guess we can get back over. I don't see anyone. We're just cruising at 75. No, we're not that heavy though. 40,000 pounds. Still running the same graphics. Got the PNG base, but not the weather. Got 8K weather going on. Seems to be working just fine, and we're not having any problems with the map today because I'm still running 60 frames per second the whole time, even though I've got both cameras going. When I do run into a problem with frames, I shut down the camera on the bottom left when I'm recording, and no one really cares about that. It's just a picture of me, and seems to fix the problem. But I'm having no problems with PNG, just on the base files, and whether 8K is cooperating. So I think I'm just going to keep it here for a while. If I do go off and experiment, at least I know that I have something to stick by, something that I know will work. Oh, look at that biplane. I'm going to crash trying to see that plane. Oh no, all over the place, all over the place. I'm not good at third person driving anyway. That was a little bit hard, especially on a curve, but I had to see it. So what kind of mods are you guys looking at these days? Were you guys looking at picking up the International 9600? Are you looking at picking up this DayCab? Are you looking at another truck and trailer, or an engine, or a map mod? I want to know what you guys are looking at so that I can, in case there's anything you want me to pick up and review ahead of time, or give you my thoughts about. Looking forward to anything coming up in the future. I know we got 1.51 coming out of beta in the near future, and the release of Arkansas. So I'm always excited when a new DLC state comes out. We'll definitely do a little bit of cruise around there. And something that I meant to do with Nebraska but never got around to was doing a little bit of LTL work. So we might pop in, do the only 2 times that I've done it with the ATS Express stuff from a guy on YouTube. He used to do all of, film all of his stuff. Maybe we'll take a different route. Maybe we'll go UPS or something. In fact, I think maybe that'd be a good idea, because there's another mod that's been hanging around for a little while, and it's actually catered more towards packages for UPS. So it doesn't really change the realism any more than, if you want to RP it. But there's special loads that are, catered just for UPS. Yeah, that's our full Jake. We gotta slow way down, way down. Oh, come on. Missed the gear, missed the gear. Whoa. Ah, you can't miss a gear like that. That was my bad. Can't miss a gear like that. Get that Jake off. It's so cool being able to have this button box and everything's in place, and I don't have to have my hand on it like a temporary box or something. I can just flick the switch. So much better. Plenty of clearance. Oh, got to go into the intermediate range there. And get out and see a little bit of the truck and trailer on a slower little patch here. and then I will probably go ahead and fast forward toward the end, since we got about 2 hours, 5 minutes, and we still want to feature the button box toward the end. So I'll be back with you in a little bit. All right, we are rolling up here into K&D Grain. Part of the ATS expansion, as I mentioned at the beginning. So, are we going to get any dynamic unloading? Is that possible here? Check the map and see what's going on. Whoop, passed right by it. Looks like we got to offload over there. How do we get over there? Okay, we'll head up here. Maybe we're going to get it because the tarp is off. Usually when the tarp is off, that's when we're going to do something. Oh, went right past it. Went right past it. Hit the horn, let them know we're coming back. Just drove right past it. So it's right in where? Where is it? I gotta get out and check this out. Huh. Oh, look at that. I think we're gonna get an offloading. We gotta back it in there. Okay. How are we gonna back it in? I guess just, yeah, I'll pull ahead off to the, let's keep going back just a little bit. I'll just pull in over here for a second. So we can back it up all the way over to there. See if that's clear enough. No one's coming, right? Why would anyone be coming? I think we're in the clear. Do want to see that trailer start coming. There we go. Guess we can start flipping it around here. We have anything to run into? I don't think we're going to need to. Oh, I needed to start that way earlier. And I just have over there on the passenger side, we've got that fence. That's not even too close. I just didn't set that up right. Alright, let's try this again. Just needed to start that turn a lot sooner. It is a neat little challenge, though, because you got a little hill to go over and stuff. All right, let's swap over to this other angle so we don't lose it off the ramp. There we go. Back it up a little bit. Oh. Ooh. Is it going to be easier if I back up first? We got the power for it. So we can get this second. There we go. That's so cool. Oh, we got to go forward a little bit. Yep. There we go. There we go. Got our first dynamic unloading with at the K&D Grain with the ATS Expansion. That was pretty cool. That was really cool. $7,769. Yeah, we did get the long distance bonus, 393 miles. 8 hours is what it took to do it. Well, thanks for coming along with the drive. We're going to take a closer look at this button box that I put together. If you do not care about that, then that's fine. Thanks for coming along for the drive. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw here. And let's head over to the button box. Okay, so it might seem like it's a little bit darker wood, but it's actually just not getting direct light like this dashboard is, but it's the same color. And so what I did, obviously, was coming at about a 40-degree angle here off of the main display, and just go ahead and go through all the different things that I did. So this is my Jake. Here, I'll see if I can hit it with this one. This is the Jake. It's just a basic toggle. I haven't figured out how to get that to work and to have it light up at the same time. Again, I'm using an arcade USB encoder. In fact, I've got two in this box by itself. So there's my Jake. The rotary encoder changes the different stages of the Jake. Next one I've got is cruise control, and then this is decrease and increase of the cruise control, and I do it in increments of 5 miles an hour. Four ways are emergency flashers, horn, and then this button is to attach and detach the trailer, just a basic button. I have another one of these basic buttons down here, and for right now that's controlling my enter to like activate stuff. This one here is to locks and unlocks the differential, and it's on a spring, so normally you have to go toggle up, toggle down, just so you can get the next one. I just toggle it up and release, and it snaps back into place. So that toggles. Then I have two buttons here, and both of these, the green one down here does the fuel, and it's latching. So I can just press it in, let go. I have to remember, though, at the end to go ahead and depress it. Otherwise, I lose the function of my enter button. This one will control the radio. And these two holes here, one of them is going to be for volume on the radio, and the other one is going to be for selecting the channel. So to switch forward or backward along the dial. And I ran out of these USB encoders, these rotary encoders, and I actually ran out of space. I'm using a full 2 USB encoders, so I had to get a third. And the third is going to control both of these buttons, and it's also going to control these 6. 3 here, and the 3 right here in the middle. Right now, these are the only ones out of all of these buttons. So these 6, 7, 8, these are the only 2 that are working. I have them set up to go main menu and go to the map. Those are going to be changed to here, and then I'll have these 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have those all for things like views and other ways to navigate around the game, things like that. I've even thought about using, because of Zmod's audio framework and the couple things that he does, usually if you press the 1 key, then you can do seatbelts. Maybe I'll do that. 2 will be the engine fan, and 3 will be to toggle on and off the reefer. I may do that, or I may just assign all 6 of them to be views, or I don't know, 3 or 4 of them views, and I'll have an extra 2 in case I need them. That's kind of what I did here. Is I did more buttons than what I really need, because I know in the future I want to be able to add on to it. That's why I drilled these out here. Even though I didn't have the parts, I just drilled it all at one time so that I would be prepared for it, and I don't have to go in there and drill again. And how I mounted this, you've seen when it was off, it's just pieces of wood, and on this side it's actually plywood, and it's just at an angle going along with the angle of this, and so this just sits in there. And I did a pretty good job of, I made it a little bit bigger because this vertical piece here, it actually was bending in quite a bit. So I put it in there so that it extends it and keeps it more upright. But the thing is, I've got these push-pull buttons, and you see there's still some sort of movement, especially on if you press in on it, because it's just this material. So this whole thing is just this plastic material, just like I did with the gauges. And normally this would actually be weaker, but I'm not pressing on here. I don't really touch here. The buttons I've got to interact with it. So when I go to push and pull, it moves a little bit. And I tried to screw it in here once. It actually cracked the plywood. This is a solid piece of wood over here, and I actually have a screw in it. And for the rest of it, I'm just using these L brackets drilled into the sides. It's drilled in here below so that it can, basically make it so 1, 2, and 3 stop it from being pulled out. And that's going to work for me for right now. I'll let you know if there's any sort of issue or I need to correct that. The last things that I have in here, I have these rocker switches, and these are going to control control the bags, basically, the air pressure. So this is for the front of the truck up, front of the truck down, rear of the truck up, rear of the truck down. This is the one I'm mainly using when attaching to trailers. And then these are going, now I've tried this 3 different times, and it could be that these are just duds. This brand seems to work. This brand seems not to work. I even have 2 other buttons, and I've rewired them 3 times, and I cannot get them to fully work. What's happening, for whatever reason, in my wiring, down works on that one, and up works on that one. And last time I had it, I tried 2 different buttons. Up worked on that one, and down worked on that one. But I'm going to kind of roll with it because I'm going to be using this for lift axles. And a lift axle, we don't really have more than one command, like lift axle up, lift axle down. Not like you have like front airbag down, front airbag up, anything like that. So since I only need one of them, if I need to drop or raise the axle on the truck, it's going to be here. And if I have to drop or raise the axle on the trailer, it's going to be there. So I'll do that, and then I'll just reset it by hand. But then I'll have pretty much all my commands, all my buttons and stuff that I need. But I used a couple, so you've got 2 different rocker switches. I've got the rotary encoders. I've got the basic toggle switch. I've got the toggle switch that rebounds with a spring in it. I've got these buttons that light up, and they're nice and big because these are the ones if I need to hit real fast, I need to hit horn 4 ways, take cruise control off. They're nice and big, and I can see them. Obviously, the push-pull for the trailer air supply and the parking brake. Then I've got 2 different buttons here. These are both latching. These are just regular buttons, just basic buttons, just to mix it up. And then 2 of these really basic buttons. So I guess you can say I was a little indecisive in exactly how I was going to put it together. And if you look closely, it's kind of hard to tell. Some of these don't quite line up. I got a little bit tired with the whole process of drilling and stuff, especially when I was out in the garage and it was like 105 degrees. I did rush part of it for sure. But it just seems like it's more like, how many different buttons and switches can I get on here? There's like 7 or 8 different types of buttons. And normally you see like a couple of these toggles. You'll see a couple of the buttons, but all the buttons will be the same. And very few people I see are having latching buttons and 4 different rocker switches. And by the way, I can't get these to light up either. They're supposed to. These 3 will light up, but I can't get them to light up. If I do get them to light up, then it says that I have an error and these don't function properly. I've followed most of the patterns on rocker switches. I actually have some other rocker switches on 2 different button boxes underneath the steering wheel down here. I use them for the windows, and they work just fine, but I can't get these to light up. But anyway, that's kind of... I got most of these parts, if not all of them. I got them off of Amazon. And again, I'm using the arcade USB encoders. All of these that are lit up. So here's one board. So they're running into power, but they're also running into one of the 3 5-volt ports so that it can also light up. And then on my other USB encoder, I only have 2 of the 3. And I'm probably not going to need any more. These are just going to be additional rotary encoders to go here. And I'm probably going to call it good. Been working on it for several months now. It's all put together. I'm liking it. And yeah, I'll just stick with that for a while. But if you guys have any questions about what's going on with the setup and the button box, last 2 things I need to do, I need to fill in those holes. And then the last thing, if I kind of tilt the camera back here, you'll see that there is no lid. This is actually right here. I'll show you. This was a rough draft of one of the sides. Notice how it's just about the same height right here. And I already have this like faux leather over it. This used to be this side on this far end. It used to be, before I extended it, it used to be this piece. And I just kind of hung on to it for a little while. And then I realized I always had my mouse in here. Once I put the plate on, what am I going to do about the mouse? And that's when that comes in. And I'm probably going to have the lid on, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a lip. It might be a little bit harder to see, creates more shadow, but I think it definitely has a better look. And I'm going to do it all in one piece, all the way to the back, and all the way over, see if I can pan over, all the way over to this side over here. So it's just going to be one continuous piece with this 40-degree bend in it. And I think that's probably going to be the best approach. At this time, I'm not going to nail down or screw in the top. It's just going to be sitting on there. And I think that would be fine for me to, like, if I just had it sitting loose, but I had something up here, like I had the mouse on it, I think that's just going to be fine. I'm just going to do that. If I needed to, I can move the mouse over and use it with my left hand. But I don't think I need to screw this in. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. And as one piece, if I ever need to get into the gauges or I need to get into the button box, I can just remove the lid, set it off to the side, and I've got immediate access to it. That's one of the things that I really wanted to do when I was building all of this, is make sure I had access to things. So with this, if I take this screw off, this entire plate just slides right out and I can work on it. Or I can work on it in there by raising the lid that's not going to be on it. Same thing here. I can have direct access. Or this one, since I'm not pressing any buttons, this one is actually not latched in at all. So all I have to do is do that, and I can pull it straight out. And I can work on it without having to hunch over the steering wheel. I can just set it on a table and work on it. So that's the biggest thing. Be able to access it so that it's easy to work on, because things break or things change and you want to add on to it. The second thing with this entire thing, for those who haven't seen the entire journey, is this desk. I just have it with an existing desk, and this black area right here is the actual desk. It's 2.5 inches thick, 2.5 inches tall, and I've built the entire thing, the entire box just sits on the table and it kind of wraps around it. So I could take this entire thing and just pull it right off the desk if I wanted to. I can move it over to the left, move it over to the right, but if I ever want to go with another design, then I can do that pretty easily. And if I ever want that space back on my desk, this whole thing can just be pulled off and it can be set off to the side. So trying to think about it in terms of what am I going to be doing in the future? How easy is it going to be to change it? And that was the whole thing. But that's about it for now. Looks like a hodgepodge of buttons, but I kind of like the fact that I was able to get all of these different functions, with the exceptions of these not lighting up. I was able to get most of it working just off of a USB encoder. This entire thing, as I figured out, I went along and I was like, I can do that and I don't need to solder anything. And it just became a challenge. This entire dashboard and everything, not one drop of solder, not one bit. This is all put together without soldering. So that was kind of a challenge for me. Anyway, yeah, leave any comments or questions down below. Thanks for checking out the drive, checking out the dashboard, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.